Welcome to This Explainer. Listen, if you own a home service business, if your company does work at people's homes, you're going to want to lean in close for this one. Today, we're unlocking a really practical playbook for turning just one active residential job site into a predictable, reliable pipeline of warm local leads. We call it the Neighborhood Domination strategy, and it breaks down into 4 simple steps: setting the stage, active outreach, digital domination, and the follow-through.
Let me kick things off with a quick question. What would you say is the absolute best marketing tool you already have in your business, like right now? You're probably thinking, oh, my website, my social media, maybe my Google Ads. But actually, I want you to completely rethink your marketing assets for a second, because your absolute most powerful, highly targeted tool is already sitting there waiting for you at literally every single job site you operate.
Yep, it's nosy neighbors. You know exactly who I'm talking about. The folks peeking through the blinds the second your trucks roll up. It's just a universal truth in our industry, right? People notice when big equipment arrives. They hear the noise, they see the crew, and human nature kicks in. They want to know what's happening down the street. We don't need to fight that curiosity, we just need to harness it. Since your team is already there, we just need a system to turn that built-in local attention into your next closed deal.
To pull this off, we execute a 14-step playbook. Don't worry, it's not as complicated as it sounds. We group it into those 4 straightforward phases I mentioned earlier: setting the stage, active outreach, digital domination, and finally, the follow-through. Let's just blast right through these.
But real quick, before we hit phase 1, keep the magic number 7 in the back of your mind. There's a super well-established marketing theory that says a prospect needs about 7 touchpoints with a brand before they actually pull the trigger and buy. And a touchpoint can be tiny, literally just seeing a logo on a truck. That is the whole psychological engine behind why stacking these small, cheap steps throughout a neighborhood works so incredibly well. We're systematically building familiarity and trust.
Here's what that looks like on a timeline and how these touches organically compound over a normal project. Day 1, we establish our physical presence with branded trucks and signs. Around day 3, we do some really friendly, polite neighbor visits. Week 1, we layer on direct mailers and hyperlocal digital ads. And then finally, around week 4, or whenever the project wraps up, we drop a final completion postcard.
All right, phase 1, setting the stage.
This is all about how your on-site trucks, your signage, and your crews act as your very first critical layer of passive marketing. Before you ever spend a dime on postage, your branded safety signs and pylons are out there generating awareness. Putting your logo front and center on safety gear is huge. It obviously serves a real practical safety purpose for the street, but man, it also makes your operation look so professional and considerate to the whole neighborhood.
And that brings us to a hard truth. Your operations is your marketing. Those nosy neighbors, they are watching like hawks to see if your crews are respectful, organized, and clean. You absolutely must have job site behavior guidelines in place. Keep the music down, keep the language professional, never, and I mean never, block a neighbor's driveway, and keep the street swept. And hey, if a neighbor wanders over, your crew doesn't need to be slick salespeople. Just train them to be super polite, hand over a company card, and direct any questions to the office. They just need to represent the brand well.
Okay, moving on to phase 2, active outreach.
This is where we shift from just being quietly visible on the street to being proactive, but in a highly considerate way. After your team's been humming along for a couple of days, someone, ideally the owner if you're a smaller shop or a project manager, needs to walk over to the 20 or so closest houses. And let me be crystal clear, this is not a sleazy door-knocking pitch. Not at all. It's a courtesy check-in. You hand them a card and casually say, "Hey there, we're doing some work down the road. If our trucks ever block your driveway or cause any headaches, please just call me directly." It leaves an incredible impression and puts your business card right in their hand without being pushy.
Then about a week into the job, we back that up by sending a super simple postcard mailer to the surrounding streets. The strategy here is pure brilliance because it's so low pressure. It basically just says, "Hey, we are currently working in your neighborhood." That's it. Its only job is to build local awareness and push traffic to your digital channels, using a really compelling offer to book a free consultation while your team is already nearby.
Which tees us up beautifully for phase 3, digital domination.
This is where we capture all that real-world curiosity we just sparked and turn it into actionable online leads. Now, when people get that postcard and scan the QR code, please, whatever you do, do not send them to your generic website homepage. Big mistake. You want to send them to a neighborhood-specific landing page. This page needs to scream, "We are working in your exact area right now." It creates this fantastic immediate urgency with a clear call to action. Book a consultation while we're in the neighborhood. It makes the whole digital experience feel custom tailored to them.
While that landing page is doing its thing, we amplify everything with hyperlocal digital ads. We run Facebook and Instagram ads targeted to a tiny, tight radius right around the job site. This creates that ultimate light bulb moment for the prospect. Think about it. They see the truck, they see the safety sign, they get the friendly postcard, and now, boom, they're seeing your ad on their phone. Your company becomes undeniably familiar. And for the folks who visit that landing page but don't book right away, we casually follow up with retargeting ads for another 2 to 3 weeks.
Now, what about the folks who give you their email on that landing page but aren't quite ready to pull the trigger and book? Easy. We drop them into an automated follow-up sequence. You capture the email, then you add them to a service-specific drip campaign. So if you're building a deck down the street, send them deck-related emails. The key here is to send genuinely helpful, non-pushy tips, things to consider, and awesome project photos. Remember, we are educating them, not pressuring them.
All right, the final piece of the puzzle, Phase 4, the follow-through.
This is all about wrapping up our presence on a high note and actually catching the leads we've generated. When a prospect finally raises their hand and requests a consultation through your site, your response time has to be lightning fast. It's an operational necessity. You call them back right away and enthusiastically say, hey, we're actually still working down the road so we can totally swing by and take a quick look while we're in the area. You are capitalizing on ultimate convenience. You're already right there, and it proves to them that your company is completely on the ball.
Finally, once the tools are packed away and the job is totally wrapped, we send out one last touch point to those closest homes, the Project Complete postcard. It's a nice little note thanking them for their patience while your team was in the area. But strategically, it hits perfectly because the finished, high-quality proof of your work is now sitting right there for everyone to see. The conversation shifts from, we are working here, to, you can literally see our work from your window, let us know if you want to chat.
Now I know what some of you are probably thinking right now. Okay, this sounds amazing, but also kind of expensive. I get it, but I want to assure my fellow business owners that this strategy is highly practical and surprisingly cost-effective. You can actually pay for this entire system just by building a small marketing allowance directly into the job costing of your qualifying projects. Just a slight buffer covers the branded signs, the mailers, the landing page, that tight radius ad spend, and a little handout cards for your crew. You're basically creating a machine where your current job pays to generate your next job.
So, let me leave you with a quick question to wrap up this explainer. Is your next project just going to be another job, or is it going to be the start of your neighborhood takeover? You're already doing the hard work, your trucks are already parked on the street, and I promise you, the neighbors are already watching. Stop leaving this easy money on the table and start putting this non-pushy playbook into action today. Thanks so much for hanging out and breaking this down with me, and I'll catch you on our next explainer.